It's me, Sensei Hamza, back with another Scratch game tutorial. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, we'll be creating the basketball catcher game. I really hope you guys enjoy. Alright everybody, so today we'll be creating the basketball catcher game. To do that, as always, we'll be using Scratch, so if you haven't done so, make sure you go to scratch.mit.edu, log in the top right, and after you log in, hit the create button in the top left. So the first thing we need to do is name our game. We'll be creating the basketball catcher game. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is we need to get our sprites. So for this game, we're going to need 3 different sprites. We're going to need the ball, which will catch the balls. We're going to need a good ball, and we're going to need a bad ball. I'll explain the difference between the good ball and the bad ball later on, once we get them. So the first thing we can do is get rid of this cat, then hit choose a sprite. Let's get the ball, which will be what we're going to use to catch the balls. Let's put that there. And then to create the good ball and the bad ball, we're going to have to create our own sprite. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to choose a sprite and hit the paint button. After you do that, let's hit choose a costume, and let's type in basketball. Okay, so we have a basketball. The main difference is going to be between our good ball and our bad ball is the color. So all we have to do is, so that we can make this one the good ball, by making it green, because green usually means that something's good, right? So we'll make this ball green. This is the good ball. We'll name it the... And then we also need a bad ball. So we're going to choose a sprite again, hit paint. This will be the last sprite that we need. So you just need to hit choose a costume, and then let's type in basketball. Okay, now this ball, since it's the bad ball, we can make it red. Just because usually bad things are red. I like the color red, but usually bad things are red. So now we have a good ball, we have a bad ball that's red, a good ball that's green, and a ball. So the ball is going to be catching these balls. Alright, so the last thing we need before we can get into the code is the stage. So the stage could be whatever you want it to be. You could just type in basketball. I like this court better than this one, so we'll use this one, but you guys can use whatever you want when you do it. Alright, so now for the code. So the first thing we're going to be coding is the good ball. So first thing we need is, obviously, when the green flag is clicked, that signals when the game starts. We're going to have the green ball go to a random position. But when it goes to a random position, we want to set the Y to 100. So really, the only random place it's going is the X, because after it goes to the random position, we're setting the Y to 100. So the real random number is only the X coordinate. And then we're also going to create our variable that we're going to be used. The only variable we need for this is the score, which signals the amount of balls that the player catches. And we're going to initially set the score to 0. So let's do this. So this is the first part of our code. So all this does is, when the green flag is clicked, when the game starts, it's going to send the good ball into a random position and then set the Y to 100, but also set the score to 0, initialize the score to 0. Alright, so the next thing we need is, we need a when green flag is clicked, and then we need a forever loop. So let's insert that. We want to change the Y by negative. So what this means is that when the green flag is clicked, we always want the ball to be going down. So let's just start our code from what we have here. So as you can see, the ball is just going down. When it reaches the bottom, nothing happens, but whenever we hit it goes to a random position, and then it goes down by -5. So that what we have right now works. The next thing we need is we need an if statement. So let's insert that there, and then we need to operate less than. Okay. So and then we're going to get the Y position variable. If the Y position is less than -170, which means if the Y, so right here is -187. So if it's less than -170, which is probably right around here, then we're going to have it go back to the top. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to have the ball go to a random position, but then set the Y. See, it goes to a random position, a random X, and a random Y. But we want it to start at the top. So the way we're going to make it start at the top is if you drag the green ball up here, The Y is somewhere near 180, 160, 170. If we go all the way up here, it'll be, okay, 180. We'll go with 180. So we'll have it go to a random X, and then we'll also have it go to, let's set Y to 180. So now let's see what happens. So when it reaches the bottom, it goes all the way to the top to a random X, to a random position, and then it continues to fall down, which is exactly what we want. All right. So the next thing we're gonna need to code is we're gonna need to code the ball. We'll come back to the good ball. There's still some code we have to do there, but for now we'll do the ball. So when the green flag is clicked, we want to have the ball give the directions. So we're gonna say for 3 seconds, get 20 green balls. Get 20 green balls into the bowl to win. Be careful. Be careful. The red ball will hurt you. So, the reason why we need a bad ball and a good ball is because if we only had a good ball, then it'd be too easy. We want to make it a little bit hard for the players. So if they get a green ball, then their score is going to go up by 1. But if they get a red ball, then their score is going to go down by 5. So it'll make it a lot harder for them to get to 20. All right. So let's go back to the ball. So it says the directions, and then the next thing we need is a forever loop. So let's insert that right there. And then we need 2 if-then statements. One right here and one right under. So the first thing we're gonna do is we wanna be able to move the ball from left to right to be able to catch the green ball. So that's what we're doing with this code. We're going to insert a sensor. When the key left arrow is pressed, we're going to change the X by -10 to make it go left, and then when the right arrow key is pressed, we're going to change the X by 10 to make it go to the right. So let's test that code out. So it's going to go, so it says the directions for 3 seconds, and then it lets us go to the left and go to the right by 10. And then, but nothing happens if the green ball goes in because we haven't coded that part yet. All right, so now for that part. So what we need to do is we need to go to the good ball, and we need to insert the code that is pretty much the most essential code of the game. So this will be the code that when the ball catches the green ball will increase the score, and when the ball catches the red ball will decrease the score by 5. All right. So for this part of the code, we need a when green flag's clicked, and then we need a forever loop and an if statement. So we'll put the forever loop right there, and then we'll need an if statement right there. So forever, if the good ball is touching, we need a sensor. If it's touching the ball, so if the ball has catched the green ball, or if the green ball has touched the ball, then we're going to have the green ball go to a random position just like we did over here, and set the Y to 180, just like we have right here. It'll make it go back up to here and reset it. So let's set the Y to 180. All right. And then if the ball catches the green ball, then we want the score to go up by 1. So let's go to change score by 1. All right, so let's test that out. Let's see if it works. Okay, so it gives us directions for 3 seconds, and now we can move. So let's get the ball. Okay, we got it. The score went up by 1, and the green ball goes back up. This is exactly what we wanted to do. So this is good so far. What we have right now is good. Works. All right. So the last thing that we need for this game is obviously we haven't done anything with the bad ball yet. The good news though is that we already have most of the code for the bad ball just by doing the good ball. So what we can do is we can duplicate this. We can duplicate it because we're going to be using the same code for the good ball as we did for the bad ball. Okay, there we go. So we needed to duplicate the code from the good ball, and then just drag it over to the bad ball and input it there. Okay, there we go. So now we have both sets of code for the good ball and the bad ball. All right, so as you guys can see, the code right now for the good ball and the bad ball are the same. So when we get the bad ball and when we get the green and when we get the good ball, the score goes up by 1. But if you guys remember, I said that the whole point of the bad ball was to make the game harder, not to make the game easier. So all we have to do is change one little piece of code in the bad ball. So instead of when the green flag is clicked forever, if the red ball is touching the bowl, go to random position. All this is right so far. This line though is a little wrong. When the red ball touches the green ball, we don't want to make the score go up by 1. We want to make the score go down by 5. That's what makes it hard for the players. So now, if you guys could see, now my score is -3, but then if I get a red ball, my score is -8. So now I'm not even close to 0. Now I have to get 8 green balls to get back to 0. So that's the point of the red ball, and that's the point of the green ball. Just one small change in code changes the entire game. So yeah, that's pretty much all the code for the basketball catcher game. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys show it to your family, friends, just so they can have fun in this time. Make sure you guys stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.